Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. I am a stay-home mom of 3 boys and I post 3 videos a week of me cleaning, cooking, just day in the life. And so if you like these types of videos, please go ahead and subscribe and don't forget to hit that notification bell to be notified when I post a video. And today's video is going to be a cook with me. So what I am making is seared pork chops with scallop potatoes and just mixed veggies. This is definitely a staple in the house. It's quick and easy, very little recipes. When I make pork chops, I go between mashed potatoes or baked potato, just any, type of starch. And I haven't made scallop potatoes in a while, so I figured I would switch it up and show you guys how I make my homemade scallop potatoes. As always, every time I make a recipe for you guys, I'm going to list the ingredients and directions down below. But first, can we just talk about, I am using my new camera, the Canon G7X II, and you guys, just look at this quality. I had changed my settings and it's like literally like a cinema. Like I was showing Miguel and I'm like, look at this, and he's like, wow, that does look really good. I'm like, yeah, it does. Like it looks so crisp and it's just unbelievable. Like just the whole entire video, I'm super happy with it. So I hope you guys actually take the time just to watch it and really just look at the quality of this video. It is, I will admit, it is, to my eyes, it is top notch. So please enjoy and please let me know down in the comments below of what you think about this whole entire, the new camera setup and, all of that fun stuff. Now back to the recipe. I just kind of wing it, but I did try my best to measure everything out. So I did start off with, I did 4 potatoes. I think I did 5, but I ended up using only 4. So I, obviously peeled them and I cut them as thin as I can. And then I went ahead and of course diced the onions and garlic. Okay, we are going to start with a roux, and this is just a thickening agent for our sauce. You guys, I preheated my cast iron skillet. It's been preheated for, I want to say 20 minutes on low. It does really well on holding its heat, and this whole entire time I was cooking, I cooked on low. Maybe like 2 notches above, like nowhere near medium, but just a little above low. So you want to melt your butter, but you want to cook it on low, but you do not want to burn your butter. So I started off with 3 tablespoons of butter. I added my onion and I slowly, on low, sauteed my onion. Because I do not want to burn my butter, I did cook this very slowly. And so I cooked my onions till, you know, translucent and they were soft. I added my garlic, also again on low. You don't want to burn your garlic or else it will taste bitter and nasty. So I went ahead and I, you know, continued to stir that, and then I added 3 tablespoons of flour. When you do a roux, you want to do equal parts of fat and flour. 3 tablespoons of butter, you know, your fat, 3 tablespoons of flour. And you want to cook the flour until you do not smell the flour, until it changes into like a, you can tell it will change a little bit of a color. And then I added vegetable broth. So I did 1 cup, so 1 1/4 cup of vegetable broth. And as you can see, it's already starting to thicken up. Again, I kept it on low, and when you can see like how just like that, you know it's good is when you do it like that and it slowly merges together. You don't want it to be too beyond thick. So I went ahead and I added 1.5 cups of heavy whipping cream. I ended up adding a little more, but sorry, I don't measure anything, so I'll try my best. But I did a little over 1.5 cups of heavy whipping cream, and I, you know, brought that to a boil, and I continued to stir it because I didn't want it to, you know, I do use cast iron, so it does, you know, it doesn't stick. But I did continue to stir that until it got thick. For my seasonings, I didn't measure, but I did sprinkle up the pan and down the pan. And I did mustard powder, onion powder, and garlic powder, 1 tablespoon of chicken bouillon, and some black pepper. And then I went ahead and, you know, stirred that all up. I'm going to go ahead and add my cheese now. I did use 2 different types of cheese because it's what I had. I used 1 handful of Mexican shredded cheese blend, which I guess it does have a bunch of other cheeses in it, but that's just what I had. And then I used a little less than what I used with the Mexican cheese, and that was mozzarella. So I used Mexican shredded blended cheese and mozzarella cheese. Add as much cheese as you want. I have done it too cheesy before, so now I do take it easy on the cheese because it just was cringe. But so I'm gonna go ahead and I buttered my cast iron skillet, and yes, I use my hands for it because, well, why not? It's my house. So I layered a single layer, just like if you're gonna make a ratatouille. I went ahead and layered the potatoes and then added the sauce, and then added the rest of the potatoes on top and added the rest of the sauce. And then I went ahead and sprinkled some cheese. I did preheat the oven to 400 degrees and I cooked it for about 45 minutes. I'm pretty bummed out that I didn't record myself season the meat, but that is okay. I started off with a dollop of butter on, you know, in my cast iron skillet on medium to high heat, and on the pork chops on one side I sprinkled up and down the pork chops paprika, onion powder, and seasoning salt, and I did add extra paprika, and I laid that down first onto my cast iron skillet, and on top I sprinkled some salt and pepper. And the reason why I added a little bit of more paprika is just for that, like, more of a blackened pork chop. And then my pork chops that I had already made before these, I like to stick my meat, like pork chops and chicken, into a tinfoil, like, you know, wrapped in tinfoil, because I feel like the steam kind of just keeps it fresh and a little more tender and also juicy, of course. So once the pork chops have a bunch of fluid, you know, a bunch of the juices on top and a little bit of white going more towards the center, I'm going to go ahead and flip them, and I will cook them for about 2 to 3 minutes because these were pretty thin pork chops. Look how crispy and beautiful they look. Just my camera too, it's amazing. So I'm going to go ahead and take those off of the skillet, and I added some frozen veggies. I went ahead and added another dollop of butter and 1/4 tablespoon of water and some salt and pepper, and cooked those up. The veggies had really good flavor just because it cooked in the same pan that the pork chops did, so it got a lot of the the bits off of the pan. Don't let looks fool you guys. Today's dinner was really good. And then there's my scallop potatoes. If you guys like these types of videos, please go ahead and comment down below if I should make more of these instead of just one recipe, like multiple recipes in one video. Thank you guys so much for watching.